Agriculture Organization, FAO, warns some 6.7 million people in Somalia are likely to suffer from acute hunger this year, including more than 300,000 projected to face famine. These projections reflect the population still in need of urgent assistance after accounting for already planned assistance for October to December 2022. Humanitarian needs are extremely high due to the impacts of 4 consecutive seasons of poor rainfall and an anticipated 5th season of below average rainfall from October to December. Yahya Jammeh tells us more in this report.
Aside from the projection of high-level food insecurity, an estimated 4.1 million in Somalia are currently in need of food assistance due to the compounding impacts of extended drought, flooding, desert locust infestations, the economic impacts of COVID-19 and conflict. Consecutive years of poor rains and harvests have decimated crops across Somalia, including South Sudan, Ethiopia and Kenya. Briefing journalists in New York on Friday, Agent Peter Smith, FAO's representative in Somalia, said that over 1 million people are now displaced in search of food, of which half of the number are women and children.
Approximately half of those that are facing famine are actually in rural and hard-to-reach areas. We know that we have over 1 million people that have now been displaced, of which 80% of these displaced people are women and children. We know that famine is expected in 2 districts of Baidoa and Burakaba. This is in southwest state, further down in Somalia, the southern part of Somalia. Clearly, if assistance doesn't reach the most vulnerable in these areas immediately, we will be in a famine situation.
The FAO rep in Somalia adds that most of the women and girls going in search of food can be exposed to gender-based violence.
Women and girls are being forced to trek much longer distances to access water, shelter, which also makes them more vulnerable to gender-based violence. Of course, we should not wait for a famine declaration to act, because then it will be too late. We know from 2011, when we faced a famine situation and a famine declaration, that by the time the famine was declared, half of the 260,000 people who died had actually already died.
According to FAO rep, the current drought is the worst in the last 4 decades and has affected about 7.8 million people, about half of Somalia's population. Acute food insecurity in Somalia has drastically worsened since the beginning of 2022, with an estimated 4.8 million people experiencing crisis or worse conditions. Reporting for Eyeafrica News, I am Yahya Jammeh.